Hello grade 2s and welcome back to some more maths for this week. So this week we are going to be dealing with subtraction, and in this video we're going to be looking at subtraction using a number line. This is a concept that we've done before, but we're just going to revise it a little bit now. So in this first slide here, you can see that we've got a number line. You can see that the sum there is 45 minus 15. And you can see there that I've already worked it out on the number line. If you remember correctly, there are some steps that you have to follow when you're working on a number line. The first one is to check what your number line is counting in. Remember, number lines can count in anything that you want them to. So you've got to always check so that you know what your jumps will mean. So if I look at this number line that we are working on, we are counting in ones. So that means every jump that I make represents or means 1. The next thing that you have to look at is check that you are going to use the correct side of the number line. When we're doing subtraction, we always work from the bottom side of the number line, and very importantly, we always start on the right and move towards the left, because the numbers get bigger towards the right-hand side, and when we subtract, we always start with the big number and we work our way backwards, and our answer always ends up being smaller. So we've got to work from right to left so that we start on the biggest numbers and land up working our way towards the smaller numbers. So you've also got to remember that you've got to jump very carefully and make sure that if you mean to jump one jump, that is what you show on your number line. And you've got to remember to add, to write on the top what you jumped in. Was it minus 10? Was it minus 2? Was it minus 1? Whatever you did there. So if you look at the number line that I've got in front of you, you can see there that we put an open dot on number 45. That's our starting number. And we're working on the bottom of our number line because we are minusing. And I made one big jump of 10 because 15 is made up of 10 and 5 if I break it up into tens and units. So one big jump of 10 from 45 takes me to 35, and then I made 5 jumps of 1 each to land up on 30. I could have jumped one jump of 5 from 35 all the way back to 30, but then I would have needed to label that as minus 5. Instead, I chose to jump 5 small jumps of 1 in each jump, and so I've labeled each jump as minus 1. You will also remember that we can use number lines to solve word problems or to do problem solving with. So in this slide here, we're going to do an example with you quickly. And this example says, Mom bought 45 sweets. My brother and I ate 15 of them. How many sweets does she have left? So as in any problem solving, our first step is always to write our open number sentence, which we get from looking at our question. And this one is clearly a minus sum because of the word that says left in the question. And we know that when they're asking how many of something are left, they're usually asking us to minus. So our open number sentence here will be 45 minus 15. So the next part of our problem solving is always our calculation, and because we're using number lines, our number line is going to be our calculation that we're going to use. So you can follow the same steps as we did in the first example there to work out your sum using your number line now. Remembering, open dot on your first number, jumping correctly on the correct side of your number line, making sure that you jump accurately, making sure that you put a closed dot on your last number, and making sure that you number your dots or your jumps correctly. The fourth step of problem solving is always your closed number sentence, and you know that this is your answer, your sum plus your answer. So our sum was 45 minus 15, and if you've worked out your number line correctly, you will have landed on 30. So now your closed number sentence will be 45 minus 15 equals 30. So the last little step of problem solving is always to write your answer in a sentence. So your answer was 30, and if you go back to the beginning, the question that they wanted to know was how many sweets does she have left? So you are going to write she has 30 sweets left, remembering to spell the word 30 correctly because we write it as its number name. And you could have also written there, my mom has 30 sweets left, whichever way works better for you. At the end of this pack of work, there are some examples that I'd like you to work through, and you can refer back to this video if you get stuck on any of them.